Hey guys, what's going on? This is John Bass, and I'm here to reel you into another Warcraft discussion video. Today, we're going to continue expanding on a topic that I've done a couple of previous videos on, specifically being about Sylvanas, Garrosh, and Valen, their leadership skills, and what they have to offer their various factions. Well, today, I'm going to expand a bit on Genn Greymane, and the way that it seems as though Blizzard's let out a major retcon in his character. And I've seen little to no coverage on it, to be completely honest. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a retcon or if they're intentionally softening the man in his older age. But the way that in the Before the Storm novel, in the events of Legion, and in the events of Battle for Azeroth, upcoming events of Battle for Azeroth, it seems as though Genn has kind of become not only a leadership mentor to Anduin, but is almost breaching into the ranges of like a father figure. I mean, to get into where I see either some kind of retcon or some kind of major character aspect changes, let's go ahead and rewind all the way back to the events of the First War. After, let's see here, actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and start with the events of the First War. After King Greymane's father died, when he became king, was right about the time when the Dark Portal was opened the first time and the Horde had ransacked Stormwind. After a whole bunch of Stormwind refugees had found their way to Lordaeron, there was already a meeting of all the different various kings from the human kingdoms all around Azeroth. So Genn Greymane was one of those leaders there. You know, kind of shows how old he is. I mean, the Curse of the Worgen, granted, makes him basically immortal, but I mean, he made it still all the way to Cataclysm and is still kicking, was still a pretty solid leader. King Greymane decided to side with the side of his council, stating that they should distance themselves from the Alliance, offer them a token squad instead of like the entirety of their armies, because the Gilneans felt as though, I don't know, maybe that they were a little better. They didn't want to risk any of their men. They didn't want to risk very many of their resources. They just kind of wanted to be their own nation in a way, which in turn ended up causing some pretty serious damage. The Alliance didn't have enough reinforcements to withstand themselves, and the Horde were able to continue moving north. At this point, Gnome and Dwarf refugees had even come to meet with the Council of Seven Nations to describe, like, the fact that Khazmodan had been overtaken, like, in its entirety, and they didn't know what to do. Well, at this point, the council kept asking Gilneas, they need gold for Nethergard, they need gold for Strom, they need gold for Khazmodan, they need gold for gold resources and men for all these different purposes that Genn was just plainly not willing to give. So at this point, when their arguments got to a certain level of fiercity, Genn just decided, screw you all, and built his giant, massive wall around Gilneas, completely closing himself in all trade with the Alliance and shutting himself out from everybody. Let's go ahead and fast forward to the events of the Cataclysm. During the events of the Cataclysm, the Forsaken had raided the Gilnean wall, and they had gotten themselves through. During this interaction, the Worgen curse managed to find its way into Gilneas, so there was like total and utter destruction coming in from both sides. Basically, it ended in Gilneas. I mean, if you've done the Gilnean starter area, Blizzard did a fantastic job covering the lore bases and all kinds of various different topics about what happened to Gilneas, where the curse came from, all that. I mean, there was a little bit of missing information in the difference of years between when you got cursed and when you kind of came back to your senses, when you stopped being feral and gained recontrol of yourself. I mean, aside from that black area, it seems as though Gilneas basically ignored the Alliance's pleas and cries for help until they needed the Alliance. And then as soon as that happened, they were welcomed with open arms right back into the Alliance, and it was like nothing ever happened. Okay, to me, this is a little bit bothersome. Genn Greymane went from having absolutely nothing to do with the Alliance and just standing by, regardless of the level of destruction that was taking place regardless of the amount of destruction that was taking place within the other human kingdoms, until that same destruction reached him. When that same chaos reached him and his people, who he thought were so perfect, he decided that, okay, now I can go and talk to them. Now I can go have something to do with them, because now we need them. I don't know, maybe it seems a little bit like Genn's using them a little bit. Granted, I'm not saying the advice that Genn has been giving Anduin has not been sound. It's been pretty good advice. It's solid. He's been giving good political advice. He's been giving good... I mean, he has his issues, of course, with the light and stuff like that, but I mean, he's showing Anduin the way. He's teaching him how to be a good king, but I don't know. Maybe Genn's lessons aren't the ones that we should be listening to. You know what I mean? The way he separated himself like that, which again brings me back into my last videos about Vaylin is the perfect example. How much of a better leadership mentor could Vaylin be for Anduin potentially? Like, I understand that Vaylin is in no way militant. And I mean, he can look to other council for militant advice specifically. But especially with this peace-influenced and light-bound as Anduin is, the way that he already leads the Alliance in its light-forged journey, maybe, I don't know, maybe he'd be getting better advice from the purple space goat that's like 50,000 years old. I mean, the dude clearly has quite a bit of experience and wisdom in the field that they're discussing. He knows how to lead his people. He's benevolent. He's given everything that he has to save what few of his people were left after Archimonde and Kil'jaeden just sold out their race for power. I mean, I'm kind of rambling more back into my Vaylin topic, but my point is that either there was a major retcon in Genn Greymane's character, or maybe there's some kind of foreboding issue that Blizzard is leading up to in kind of a masked way. I don't know. Maybe Genn's not so in the up and up as everybody seems to think that he is. It's just some food for thought, guys. You know? Alright, guys. Today, I covered a topic that I'm not necessarily super keen or professional on as far as my relatively expansive lore knowledge goes. Genn Greymane has always been kind of a confusing and hole-filled topic to most of the lore community. And I mean, if there's anything that I have missed or anything that I have overlooked in my couple of hours of research that I did before making this video, please be sure to leave that feedback, leave that information, and even if you're able to, leave a source like I've had a couple of people do for me so far. If you're able to leave a source so that I'm able to research and confirm the information that you guys have given me, that would be greatly appreciated. I very much appreciate the couple of people who have done that for me in previous videos in the commentary below. As always, if you like this video, leave a like. If you support what I'm all about, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And absolutely most important of all, leave a comment down below with all your thoughts and opinions on what I have to say. This channel is all about discussion, feedback, and the back and forth between you and me. I love community, and that's what I'm all about on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and be safe.